Do you ever notice how men are left out of conversations that pertain to their children? It all goes to the mom, it's all about the mother, and some of them even have to fight to be involved with their kids. So I'll tell you a little story. So I'm 19 weeks pregnant and I was having a random conversation with my husband, think regular day, and I'm reading the update. You know the apps that give you a weekly update as to what's going on with your baby? So I'm basically reading it to him, like what's going on with the baby, what's going on with the mom, when I noticed that there is nothing about the father. The app that I use, by the way, is called Baby Center, just in case you're wondering. But I like the app. It's very detailed, especially for first-time moms. It lets you know what's going on with your baby week by week. It even compares it to like a fruit or vegetable or something like that. The baby's the size of a cantaloupe. And it also tells you what's going on with the mother's body, which is huge because our body changes a lot and sometimes you really don't know what the hell's going on. So having a little breakdown every week, like this is what to expect, this is what's happening, comes in pretty handy. However, like I said, there is no mention of the dad. So I ended up asking him, I was like, what's going on with you this week? Before I tell you what he says, I gotta take care of my plants because you know, what you water grows. Just like your relationship with your husband and your kids, if you water it, it will grow. So let's do it together. It's so often that men are left out of these conversations about their kids, when in reality, they are very much involved. Yes, I understand that they don't actually carry the babies, and a lot of the physical changes happen with the mom. But there's a lot of mental changes that happen with the father. A great father, I believe, has to be mentally prepared to become one. And the fact that we cut them out most of the time, or the entire pregnancy really, and then complain that they aren't involved or don't understand us, isn't very fair. So when I asked him, he had to pause for a second, but he shared 3 things that was on his mind. So the first thing that was on his mind is the baby name. Because yes, that's one of his tasks. He came up with the name of my daughter, which is such a beautiful name. So I'm like, you're good with this. You might as well come up with the name of baby number 2. And that's because I want him to be involved. I want my husband to be part of the process, not just planting the seed, but part of the journey. We take on so much as mothers, and so much is on us, from conception to pregnancy to giving birth and taking care of this child. So much is on us, but I feel like some tasks can actually be shared, such as sifting through baby names. Girl, he can do that. I feel like I have so much on my mind already, and one of the hardest part about being a mother is the mental load, and that's on top of the physical load. So I am offloading this task onto him, and girl, he can come up with the name of his baby, and like I said, he's good at it, so he can do it. The second thing that was going on with him is mentally preparing to be a father of 2. I thought that was interesting because I have to admit, I don't always think about the mental preparation that men have to do as they transition into fatherhood. I know how difficult it is for us mothers, but dads, I never even thought about it, girl. And that's what I mean, they are often forgotten about. And the last thing that's on his mind is the cost of this new baby, which is entirely fair. Now, the good thing about being pregnant with another baby so soon is the fact that there's a lot of things, tools, gadget, just things that we can roll over from baby number 1 to baby number 2. But there are also things that we're gonna have to get, like car seat, crib, just things that we just have to get for this new baby. And he's thinking about the cost of all of that and preparing his wallet to spend on his baby. Entirely fair. Another win now that I'm thinking about it with having babies close in age is that it's still all fresh. I feel like I remember the newborn stage, like vividly, just like it was yesterday. I guess it was kind of like yesterday. So it's kind of like a win-win having babies close in age. So far, I don't see the con, but ask me again in 4 months. All that to say, we're celebrating all of the good fathers today. I remember all the things my husband did last time to get ready for baby girl. And I remember at the time, I was like, I couldn't do this on my own. I could not do this alone. He was building the crib, painting the room, from setting up the nursery. I'm talking about taking all the furniture out of the room, painting everything. And not just the room, the bathroom as well. He painted that. To doing research in terms of what car seat to get, the best one, the safest. What? Most importantly, being so present during the postpartum period. Oh, girl, I didn't have to do anything but just heal, focus on me, and taking care of baby girl and feeding her. That's all I had to do. He took care of everything else. I'm talking about the house, cooking, cleaning, our dog. And having such a strong person around made it so much easier to go through such a difficult period that is postpartum, because I was able to relax. I knew I could just let go, focus on me, like I said, focus on the healing part, focus on keeping my mental strong for my baby, for myself, for him, and I can fully relax and transition into this impossible role, which is being a mother. It was definitely a lot easier to focus on healing and focus on, being present in that moment, when you don't have to worry about everything else. I didn't have to do the laundry, I didn't have to cook, I didn't have to clean. Like I said, I didn't have to do none of that. Food was just being brought to me, and I appreciated that. And I tell him all the time how I appreciated his support during the early stages of postpartum. So shout out to all the great fathers, all the great men in our lives that step into their masculine energy, their protecting energy, that take care of the women in their lives. Shout out to them today. And they do it without ever getting any recognition for how much they do. They aren't mentioned in the apps, they aren't mentioned in the parenting books, maybe a little sprinkle here and there, but they are present, they are teaching, and they are leading. Today is your day. Happy Father's Day. Now, it's important to note that we're giving the flowers to the men that deserve it. If your partner is abusive, it doesn't matter how many walls they paint, how many car seats they buy, they do not respect you, they do not deserve you or your love. If they're mistreating you, it doesn't matter how many times they apologize, if they keep doing the same thing over and over, they don't respect you. Especially if they apologize like this.
Sometimes you gotta do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry.
This is why it's very important to choose your partner wisely, especially if you plan on marrying them, having kids with them, because girl, it's a long, long life that you could be enjoying, and it's even longer and harder if you're dealing with somebody's son who did not learn anything from their parents. It's a long, long life. Don't leave that part of your life up to luck. Some of you are hoping that someone changes when they've shown you who they are over and over. You can't change them. Focus on you. Anyways, happy Father's Day to all of the great daddies out there doing your thing. We don't say it enough, but we love you. We appreciate you. Our children loves you. We see all the work that you do to take care of us as well as our children. And if you haven't told your hubby lately how much you love and appreciate him, well, now it's the time. It's never too late. We always feel like we have time, but time is a blessing. So if you do have time today, make sure that you use it wisely.